I respect this court, but I'm innocent. I would never, under any circumstances, hurt my wife, Maggie, and I would never, under any circumstances, hurt my son, Paul.
He still says he didn't do it, but a jury of his peers disagreed. Alex Murdaugh found guilty of murdering his son, Paul, and wife, Maggie, and sentenced to life in prison. It's a stunning fall for the disgraced attorney, whose family not only practiced law in a tiny South Carolina town for a century, they were the law. That is, until Alex went from lawyer to defendant, the judge tearing down that dynasty.
Your family, including you, have been prosecuting people here in this courtroom, and many have received the death penalty, probably for lesser conduct. And the question is, when will it end? When will it end? And it's ended already for the jury because they've concluded that you continue to lie and lie throughout your testimony.
The judge also had this chilling warning for the convicted murderer.
I know you have to see Paul and Maggie during the night times when you're attempting to go to sleep. I'm sure they come and visit you. I'm sure.
All day and every night.
And in the end, it was the tape that got Murdaugh. One juror said this video put him directly at the murder scene and sealed his fate.
He started deliberating, going through the evidence. Everybody was pretty much talking. And I don't know, about 45 minutes later, after all our deliberating, we figured it out. The evidence was clear.
Did you feel like he was a liar?
A good liar, but not good enough.
But this isn't the last year here of Murdaugh. His defense vowing to appeal and take it all the way to the Supreme Court if they have to. Also, there's still the matter of all the money he stole from the law firm. He faces 700 years in prison for that. All right, Greg, I mean, I think the juror said it right there. I mean, he was a liar and he was a good liar, but not good enough.
It's got to suck being that remaining son. If I were him, I would be right now changing my last name, something less inflammatory like Bin Laden.
Buster Bin Laden.
Yes. This kind of sucks in a way because he got a life sentence, and within that phrase is the word life. And with psychopaths, they can adapt to anything, right? He's still going to get 3 meals a day. He's still going to get like an hour of sunlight. His wife and kid are dead. But it's when a life sentence, I don't think people understand it. That is not a fate worse than death. These sociopaths, psychopaths, they don't want to die. He should get the death penalty. O.J. Simpson chimed in. I don't know if you saw that. Said that there was a possibility he should have been acquitted. But, you know, he is the expert. I see CNN replacement for Jeffrey Toobin right there. But I didn't realize, like, how awful this family is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize. I mean, if you're around that family, you have a 50% chance of being murdered. I mean, so many untimely, mysterious deaths. I mean, they make the Clintons look like the Cleavers. Sure. Hillary's like looking at this going, boy, that guy's got game, you know? But I thought the judge was really good, except when he said, maybe you didn't kill him, maybe you killed them on drugs. Remember he said, and it's like, you don't blame drugs. You blame the person. You blame that person. There are people who do drugs that don't kill their family. But it was like, it was almost like a partial exoneration. Like, you know, maybe it wasn't you. It was just you were under the thrall of this demon. It's like, that's BS. The only person I feel really bad for is Judge Janine. She bet Tyrus. You see that?
No, what happened?
She bet Tyrus her house that it would be a hung jury.
Ooh.
So me and Tyrus, we just rented a U-Haul, and we're heading up after the 5 to get his weight room stuff in.
That's a pretty big house, too.
It's a big house.
Very good.
You might not notice you guys are in there.
Yes.
Your thoughts on the verdict and on the sentence?
So to your point about a life sentence being a walk in the park sometimes, well, this was a transcript of his conversation with Buster Bin Laden, I guess is what we're calling him now. Man, I hit 9 out of 11 games on the Sunday. Pro games, I won like 6 soups and 4 beef sticks. So he will be well fed.
But that's the point. Like, he already found a way to have fun.
Yes,
Yeah.
he'll be just fine.
Yeah.
But look, I would say that there was reasonable doubt in this case, which is why it was shocking to me that in 45 minutes the jurors came to that conclusion. Reasonable doubt, there were brown hair strands in Maggie Murdaugh's hand. Why weren't they tested? Why wasn't DNA tested on the bodies? All of these questions can be asked, but they didn't believe his emotion. I agreed with the judge. This would be a hung jury because of the emotion that I saw. No mother or father wants to think about someone killing their child and their wife. But apparently the juror said there were no tears.
Yeah.
He said there was a lot of snot, but there were no tears.
I actually think we have that. Let's listen to that.
You have the snot?
We have that
I have
snot.
the snot right here in my cup.
I didn't think much of him,
Really?
really. I didn't see any true remorse or any compassion or anything.
Even though he cried a lot on the
He
stand.
never cried.
He never cried. What do you mean by that?
All he did was blow snot.
Did you not see tears?
No tears.
How did you know he wasn't crying?
Because I saw his eyes. I was this close to him.
You know, Kaylee, when you see it through the TV screen as we've been analyzing it, it's a lot different when you're a juror and you're in that courtroom. You get a different take.
A lot different because we saw on Outnumbered when we would cover this during the day, his face turned red, kind of touched his face. It looked like tears.
Yeah.
He certainly lied in that way, but it doesn't appear that it was. This will be appealed. But interesting, they want to take it to the Supreme Court. They have to have a federal question, and they point to the Doyle case, which says we can't infer guilt from silence. He wasn't silenced. This was a man who lied. So good luck with that.
Why don't they have the death penalty in this situation here? I mean, South Carolina, right?
It is South Carolina where they do have it, and I'm not sure. Kelly's the lawyer at the table, so I would cede my time.
No, we don't have to. We all pretend we're lawyers here. It's fine.
Oh,
Actually, being
I
a
don't
lawyer is a
practice.
disadvantage.
yeah, it's true.
I'm against the death penalty. And I do think that being locked in a tiny box for the rest of your life, whether you're a sociopath or not, because he won't be on 60 oxys a day. He'll just be sitting there in his true
You
self.
can't get oxy in prison at all.
I don't,
Yeah, you can.
not 60, probably just one or two.
Right.
So I don't know about the death penalty question for this. I think the point of this being a show is really relevant, and the fact that the Netflix show came out last week, which definitely, as it was being televised, really hyped up the attention to it. It was the #1 show on there, and I think that's where people, to your point, Greg, really got a feel for how terrible all these people were. So Paw Paw,
Yeah.
who killed Mallory,
Yes.
the young girl on the boat, his best friend's girlfriend, who went flying off as he drunkenly crashed that boat. And then I thought the most powerful part of the Netflix special of this and relevant to the story is the manipulation of every generation of this family in the hospital. So the grandfather, Alec, and the son all playing defense, going around to different hospital rooms, manipulating children and their parents, saying, we represent you. We've got your best interests at heart, and then trying to pin it on another kid, that he was the one who was driving the boat. You know, people are gross to the bone when they're doing that. The housekeeper, their beloved housekeeper who raised the kids, pushing her down a flight of stairs and stealing $4.3 million from her children. They had no idea that a benefit claim had been taken out on their lives. And then the suspected murder of Stephen Smith, I think was his name, someone who was allegedly involved in homosexual relationship with Buster. That kid, no justice for that family. And I would recommend, it's not like I have no investment in Netflix for this, but it does, seeing it played out like that did make a difference to me, for sure. And I thought that the juror was very good, though there are some people who cry without tears.
Really? Show us now.
All show, I'm actually crying. And you guys never know what's happening.
Not an actor or a lawyer. Neither one.
Go ahead, Kate.
My perspective on just who this person is that he thought he was going to get away with killing his wife and son. I mean, this went untouched for, 9 months before it was actually investigated. He didn't think anything was going to happen as a result of this. And then when he stood up there in front of the jury, acting it out, arrogantly, thinking, I'm a lawyer. I can out-strategize these people. I can act my way through this. These are just a bunch of stupid people who are lesser than I am. I'm a very prominent, important person who's been able to get away with all of these things for my entire life, and my family name is worth a lot more than these people's opinions. And it didn't work. And sitting in that courtroom, those people listened to the facts. They went and visited the crime scene, and they came up with the conclusion that not only was he guilty, but his big act for days on the stand was a big lie. And when you do that to a jury, they don't tend to have much doubt about the crimes that you've committed.
All right, well said.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.